Welcome back to Learn SKN. Today what we're going to look at is basically my AI toolbox. These are the apps that I use, the AI applications that I use on a day-to-day basis as an educator to make my work, my life a little bit easier. Right? I did a video previously stating my thoughts on AI in the classroom as an educator, and where I come down on that particular debate. So you can check that video and see. But for today, I'm going to be giving you my top 3 AI applications that I use as an educator that have helped me tremendously on my journey since the advent of AI. You know, because it's something you need AI to get rid of some of those tedious, monotonous tasks so you can go on to bigger and better things. Sure, I can rely on what I know already, what I've learned, but why waste time when there's a tool that can simply help you get things done in a faster manner, right? So it's not like I rely on AI as a crutch or anything like that. You know, some persons know that's all they do. That's one of the downsides of AI. Persons stop thinking. I still rely more heavily on what I know, what I was taught, what I've learned over the years to get what I need done. But like I said, there are some tasks that you have bigger fish to fry. So you leave those kind of tasks to AI. And so in no particular order, here are my top three or my main 3 apps, AI apps that I utilize on my journey as an educator. Number 1, well, not number 1, okay, but the first one here, not in any particular order of importance, but the first one here is of course ChatGPT or Gemini AI or anything like that, but the main one is ChatGPT. Now what I use ChatGPT for is I would enter a prompt in that, let's say I'm giving an assignment, right? I'm giving a question in the class to the class or something like that. I would enter that question, that prompt into ChatGPT and see what it returns. Because for sure I want to know that when I'm marking these papers, what I'm reading, I could say, okay, yeah, that right there is ChatGPT. That is AI. Because I would have already put in the question, the prompts. When somebody gives it back to me verbatim, I know they didn't even think. They just went and put it in ChatGPT, and this is the answer that they got. So I use that so I could know, I can see what the children are thinking, what they are saying, that, okay, they use ChatGPT for that one. Really and truly, I can tell when you use AI, just because if I know you as a student, I would have seen work from you in prior sessions, and I would get to know your vocabulary, know what words you use. And so when I see a particular student with a particular kind of output, a particular set of words, I say, okay, no. That ain't even your vocabulary. That's not how you speak. That's not how you write. So I know it's AI. But also outside of all of that, I use ChatGPT for research purposes, like most persons, because you want to be abreast of what's going on. So you can use it as a search engine. You can use it to generate ideas. You can use it to give you different perspectives, right? So you don't want to be too tunnel vision. You might have your thoughts and everything, but something you want to see what else is out there. And so for a quick reference, just type in whatever you're looking for into ChatGPT, and it can give you a framework, ideas, that kind of thing when you're doing your own research. Of course, like I said in my previous video, you don't take what they spit out wholesale. Of course, you have to apply it to your particular research that you're doing. So that's ChatGPT. That's of the 3, that's the least. I use this one the least, honestly. Then the next one, that even before the advent of all this AI and stuff like that, before they was so prevalent, Grammarly was always there. Grammarly is there to help you with, as the name suggests, your grammar. So I recommend that anybody who is into sending out letters, wanting to make sure their subject and verbs are green, wanting to make sure that their spell check everything is spelled correctly, that kind of thing, make sure you install Grammarly, even on your cell phone, right? Because there's an app that you can install. So even when you are messaging somebody, WhatsApping, texting, the bubble pops up and it gives you suggestions of words you can use, different phrases you can use, the way you organize the tone of your particular composition. You can be formal, informal, that kind of thing. Grammarly really helps you put your words together. Because nothing would be more embarrassing than an educator sending out some information and I see all these words spelled incorrectly, the subject and verbs not agreeing, you might see a you is and that kind of nonsense, that kind of stuff. So you have to make sure that you're on point. Use your plurals, singulars when you need to. Your S, what you put your S here or S off. that kind of thing. So Grammarly keep you honest as it relates to your grammar. And I've relied heavily on Grammarly. I remember when I was doing my thesis, and for my editor, I just subscribed to Grammarly for the month, and I put my entire document in Grammarly. I think my thesis was about 30,000 words, and I just showed the whole thing in Grammarly. And I went through line by line, making sure that my words are spelled correctly, the tone is on, make sure that everything is organized in a way that is, because sometimes you start a thesis, maybe it may take a year or two, so maybe you might have started in one tone and then you end in the next one. So Grammarly, make sure you organize, you make everything more sequential, you make everything more streamlined, right? So that's one advantage of using Grammarly out there. So I would suggest that anybody out there in a professional space, as a student, install Grammarly so that when you're talking, there's that confidence in your words. And then the last one that I discovered, like I said, I've been using Grammarly even before AI was so prevalent. Grammarly has increased the capacity with different things. Now they have more strength, more things they can do with the app now than just spell correct and that kind of stuff. It's more potent. So our next one I discovered is what we call QuizBot AI. And of course, it is powered by AI. And why this is so crucial is that as a lecturer, as a teacher, as an educator, of course, you must do assessments. And so this is very crucial. This has become such an important part of my assessing my students. Because in this tool, this AI tool, you can generate different tests, especially multiple choice tests. You can just simply copy and paste from the chapters from your textbook, and it's going to summarize them, and it's going to spit out how much ever multiple choice questions you want. It can either go 10, 20, I think it's up to 40 or 50. But you can do it incrementally, of course, 10 here, 20 there, different topics. And so you can generate a whole multiple choice question, quiz, as a test using this platform. And it gives you the answers so that you have your answer sheet one time. So it makes it easier for you. Apart from generating multiple choice, you can do open-ended questions. You can do true and false questions, fill in the blanks, matching, mixed questions. It also spans Bloom taxonomy, where you can actually use multiple choice questions to test the application ability of your students, the analyzing ability of your students, if they understand, even just recall, remembering. So you're going to phrase the questions in a way that tests their application abilities, analyzing abilities, etc., etc. Apart from all of that, it can be used to generate PDFs, PowerPoint. It can be used for PowerPoint. You can use it to generate PowerPoint so that you can actually use it to teach in the class. So sometimes you have a chapter, it would summarize the chapter and put it in point form. So you copy and paste those points onto a slide, and it helps you to generate your PowerPoint. You still have to put it together, get the template, get your pictures, etc., etc. But sometimes it even suggests pictures you can use. So you're talking about, let's say, teamwork. You're going to say you can use a picture of different ethnicities working together, that kind of thing, diversity, right? So those are some of the tools that I've managed to put as a part of my toolbox, my AI toolbox, in my journey as an educator. So feel free to check them out so that they can work for you, and let me know what you think in the comment section, right? So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.